Activision just updated and fixed Black Ops Cold War again. Now, it's no secret that about a month or so ago, it was known that Black Ops Cold War was not safe to play online, with recent reports of exploits, which people could manipulate to boot players off the game, and that's on any platform, including consoles, joining your game without being your friend, and getting your IP address. This became a massive deal, which Activision publicly posted that they were exploring and investigating, and about 3 weeks ago, they issued a security update on all platforms, but said that additional updates were in progress. And today we got a massive new security update that was released for all platforms. We're talking 6 GB on PS5 and up to 15 GB on PC. Now, with updates that big, you would assume that there might also be some secret content lying within the update, so we're here to tell you exactly what's changed. So for those of you that have been curious if the game is safe to play, especially with the fact that the game is now free to play on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 until the 31st of July, you want to know if the game is safe or not to play. And with this update, this is a further security update than what was already put out a few weeks ago to increase the security of the game, to fix all the exploits so that players cannot be booted offline, gain your IP address, and essentially ruin the game experience. But there's actually been a massive change that they've done with this update. And now, party privacy settings for all users are now set to friends only by default. Up until now, it has been open, so anyone is able to join your lobby at any time, and hackers specifically can go through and use menus where they have lists of player names, and they could just join your game and join your lobby through that without even needing to be a friend through the Activision ID system. What Activision have tried to do here is to take one step further, where now by default, everyone that boots up Cold War will have the friends only setting for party privacy, meaning that people shouldn't be able to join you unless they are on your friends list, which is a big step towards completely solidifying the security on the game. Because up till now, hackers have been able to join people's games in progress or in the lobby and ruin the game by crashing it, but now this should rectify it, so it shouldn't be possible for people to do that. And considering that Black Ops Cold War is approaching a 3-year game, to see this much support and constant updates is amazing to see. Treyarch currently have all chefs in the kitchen cooking up that Black Ops 2024 game, but to see them be so active with updating this game, it is definitely a W from Treyarch and Activision. I really think this game is one of the best games we've had in this new era of Call of Duty throughout the last 4 years, so to see it get more active support than other games like Modern Warfare 2019 and Vanguard, it shows that this game definitely has the staying power. Now, considering the update is so big, you would expect there to potentially be some hidden content, maybe some multiplayer maps that could release later in the future or something like that. Sadly, it doesn't seem to be the case. We're not getting a year 2 or year 3 surprise drop. As much as I would love that, this was just a security update. But what is interesting is that on certain platforms for Black Ops Cold War, the servers are a little bit busted, at least from my experience and what I've read online. I did some tests where I have the game on PS5, and I went to go ahead and just search for some multiplayer games with crossplay enabled, and with quick play for team deathmatch and domination, I managed to find a game pretty quickly. It did take about maybe 20 seconds or so, but I was always finding lobbies, and as you can see, most of the ranks in the lobbies are actually pretty low, which means they are new players, part of the free-to-play month, which is absolutely awesome. But I managed to find some TDM, and then went ahead and searched for Nuketown 24/7, because that's always going to have some players, and I got in no problems. And I even went so far as to try and find a public match of zombies, because there is just so many playlists on the main menu of zombies. It's crazy to think that there are people playing it, but I went ahead and looked for Forsaken, and I managed to find a 4-player public match of that, which is crazy. But when it comes to finding multiplayer games on PC, that's where I've been seeing a lot of complaints, and I went ahead and jumped on myself. When I searched for Team Deathmatch, just quick play, and even Nuketown, I was finding no games. It was searching forever and ever and ever. And I don't know if this is a problem that Treyarch and Activision have noticed already, and this is something that we'll hopefully see them address in another update in the very near future, or if it's just something wrong with my game. But I'm seeing a lot of people say that they just can't find lobbies, and they're searching for ages and ages and ages. So there's definitely something not quite right there. If you've recently gone back to Black Ops Cold War to play zombies or multiplayer, and you've suffered similar things where you're struggling to find lobbies, let me know in the comments below, because it'll be be great to get a big pool of data so that Treyarch and Activision can see that you guys are having issues and they can work on fixing them. But overall, I'm so happy to see all the love that Cold War is recently getting. With the free-to-play month, obviously a lot more people are going back to the game, and I'd love to know if this is your first time playing Cold War this month since getting it for free. But there's just been a lot more general conversation about the game where people are giving it a bit more of a respect and recognition that I think the game deserves. It's the most recent modern Call of Duty game that to me feels like an old school Call of Duty game that's very like arcadey and more like the CODs that we loved growing up with, like Black Ops and the OG Modern Warfares. And when you think about the mess that Treyarch had to deal with making Cold War and only a year and a half of a development cycle during a global pandemonia as well, the cards were not in their favor and they still ended up bringing what I think was a truly great Call of Duty game. The game is also packed with just so much content. It's actually absurd this much content is there for a Call of Duty game. You've got the 4 round-based zombies maps, you've got the Outbreak Zombies mode, which is a massive open world with maybe 7 or 8 different maps. Then there's also other game modes for zombies like Onslaught, which can be played on any multiplayer map. But then you've also got variations of Onslaught. You've also got variations of Outbreak, where there's like Outbreak Survival, which is like a hardcore version. There's just so many different things that Treyarch experimented with this game, which I think is just such a great sign for things to come in the future, considering that their next game is gonna have a full 3-year development cycle. So they've been uninterrupted, apart from having to help with all the other COD games that have come out as well. But I think that's a very small team that have helped with that compared to the main big studio that normally works on the whole of the Black Ops games. So the future is looking bright, and from the small amount of different leakers that exist for Call of Duty on Twitter, they are really hyping up that there should be a lot of good things coming with Treyarch's next COD, which I'm very, very excited about. Of course, we have high expectations, but to hear that there's murmurs of it already living up to expectation is a really good sign. But with Cold War now free to play on PlayStation and the game having crossplay, this should mean that the servers should be populated with a lot more players than we've seen in recent times. But as I pointed out earlier, there does seem to be some server issues where people just can't connect to games, so just have to see how that goes. But if there are more updates for Black Ops Cold War for security, I'll be sure to let you know. But as it stands right now, the game is completely safe to play. You should have absolutely no worries at all. If you think it's a W that Cold War is still getting updates, especially for security, let me know by dropping this video a thumbs up. And I want you guys to check out a video that I uploaded yesterday where it was Black Ops 3 Zombies, but every round something changes. It was an incredible mod that really makes you play the game completely differently, where no 2 games are the same, and I try and complete the Horizon Drac Easter egg with all these crazy things happening every single round. I think you guys would love it, so here it is on your screen or linked down below. But thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.